Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I'm sick of quarantine. Yep, just like all of you, I'm sick of it. I'm sick of being home, and I'm gonna do something to entertain myself. So I'm driving to Smith's and I'm gonna do a food experiment. So in today's video, we are going to find out what food tastes best dehydrated. So we're gonna go buy every fruit that we can find at Smith's. We're gonna dehydrate them all. We're gonna rank them from worst to best. We'll see what wins. Turns out they close in 8 minutes. Had no idea.
All final purchases brought forward at this time, so we will be shutting down in 5 minutes.
Raspberries. These. I'm just gonna grab one type of apple. Alright, so step one, we're gonna wash our hands from all those nasty coronavirus germs. While we were at the store, we picked up 16 different fruits to try. So we have pineapple, banana, mango, orange, apple, pear, nectarine, plum, lemon, kiwi, clementine, strawberry, blackberry, grapes, raspberries, and blueberries. We're gonna start off with blueberries. So the first step is to boil water. Once the water is boiling, you're going to put the blueberries in there and allow them to boil for 30 to 60 seconds. Once that's done, you're gonna quickly pull them out and put them into an ice bath. You want that skin to rip, that's the main goal. After that, we're gonna do the same thing with the grapes. Boil them for 30 to 60 seconds, stick them in the ice bath, and allow them to cool off and let those skins rip. After that, we are just going to stick it on the tray of our food dehydrator. Next up, we have raspberries. Raspberries don't need anything, you can just stick them on there. Not sure how they'll turn out, but whatever. Blackberries are the same as raspberries, don't really need to do anything, I don't think. Just stick them on there and allow them to dry. Also note that drying times and any additional procedures will be included in the description down below. Next up, we got bananas. There's a cool trick with bananas where if you take your finger and just shove it on down the middle, it'll split into 3 separate spots. Now I have a ripe banana, so it's likely to break. So after that, we're just gonna cut it into about sizes of your thumb. And then we have to put it in a little bit of lemon water to stop it from browning. So just squeeze some juice of a lemon and mixed it with a little bit of water, fetch the seeds out because I suck at that stuff apparently, and load the bananas into our little solution. Give them a little swivelly around, let them get coated in the lemon juice, and then we're gonna stick it on the rack. If you're like me, you're butterfingers and nervous because you're making a video, so just fetch it and load it up. Next up, we have the mango. Now I realize I kind of jumped into the mango a little quick, but my camera's having problems, so you're gonna miss some things. Anyways, peel the mango, chop it into nice, long, big chunks, as big as you want. Just keep in mind it'll take longer to dry. The skinnier they are, the crispier they get, but if you want them like so many stores have them, I think you need to cut them nice and thick. There you go. Once you have that all done, you're just gonna stick it on the rack. Next up, we got pineapple. Chop the top up, chop the bottom off, chop it in half, right through the core, and then we're going to extract the core. Perhaps someone is better at this than me, don't really care. Get the job done. Once the core is gone, you're just gonna chop it into thin little slices, about 1/4 to 1/2 inch thick. And then you're gonna slice underneath like you're gutting a fish, and they should all just pop right out. There we go. Look at that technique. After that, just load it up on the rack and we will move on. I love pineapple, so I'm gonna do a little more than the rest. Strawberries, just pull the stem out, cut it in half. Once you see the inside stem, extract that. And we're just gonna slice it into 1/4-inch slices. Once we've done that with all the strawberry pieces, we will load it up on the rack. Next up, we're doing lemon. Don't ask me why I bought a lemon, just thought it'd be kind of cool. Anyways, making it up as I go. I don't think anyone actually does anything with lemon. That just sounds disgusting. But anyways, just took the rind off because it's probably bitter. Stuck it on there. Next up, we got our clementine. Clementine, you're just gonna peel just like the rest of the citrus fruits, pull them into their individual spots, and I decided to cut them in half. Ooh, look, might look kind of cool. Don't know. Put that on a rack, and we're on to the next one. Next up, we have our nectarine. You're gonna take the pit out, then you're going to break it up and just cut it into 1/4-inch slices, kind of like such as. Pear, sorry, camera died, deal with it. Just gonna take the seeds out and then do the exact same thing, 1/4-inch slices. The thicker they are, the softer they'll be, unless you dry them too much. Once I'm done playing with my pear, then it's time to start our first load. So here's my Presto Dehydrator. It's the cheapest one you can buy at Amazon. I'll put a link in the description. It was $35. We load it all up. Real simple to use. You just load the trays up. Stack, stack, stackaroo. As you can see, we have quite a few fruits, but not all of them. It got late. I was tired, so I started the first load, and fast forward to the next day. Next day, morning, wearing my sweats because I was half awake. Gonna check on them. So when you're checking on these fruits, you wanna make them, you wanna feel them. If they feel like there's still moisture in there, they're not done. If they feel like leather, they're probably done. It's easier to tell than you'd think. You just kind of feel it, and if it feels moist or sticky, then it's not done. If you can bend it and it doesn't stick to each other, then it's done. So you can see me checking all the various fruits. All of them have different drying times, which complicated things a little bit. But because some of them were done, I was able to load it up. So next up, we got our plum. Chop right through that center pit, and then we're just gonna give it a little slice like such as. Looks kind of cool. Never done a plum, not sure what it's gonna taste like, but we're gonna load it up. I'm a cheater with the apple. Grab my apple core. Ooh, look at that little splash, must be a good apple. Get all those chunks out of there. Now I don't have to decore it, and we're just gonna treat it like the rest of the whatever shape these fruits are, and we're just gonna chop it up into 1/4-inch slices. Now keep in mind the apples will brown, so we made another solution, put it in the lemon water solution. Really, just, it doesn't matter, just a little bit of lemon, a little bit of water. If you like lemony, just make a little more lemony. Next up, we got our orange. We're gonna peel the orange, break it into its individual pieces like the clementine, and we're gonna slice it up so it's a little thinner, otherwise that juice is gonna be hard to extract. Then we just load it up and move on. So next up, we got a kiwi. Never done a kiwi before, so just peel the kiwi and then slice it long way down so you can see all those beautiful little seeds. Once we're done with the kiwi, we're gonna load that up as well. Look at that. Look at all those colors. Alright, so it's been a few hours. We're gonna check it. Kiwi, puzzling me. Looks like it may be done. We got some blackberries. Now the blackberries are interesting. I thought they were still full of juice, but when I push on the little berry pods, they were just empty. Eventually all of them dried out, and this is what they all look like. To stop you from having to hear me smack my lips repeatedly as I eat these delectable dried fruits, I'm just gonna tell you exactly how all of them ranked. So the banana was pretty standard. I'd say it's the most common of dried fruits. Most people eat them kind of more of a chip. I don't necessarily like them that way. I like them a little thicker. They have really good flavor and really good texture. Some people, like my parents, claim that they taste like baby food. Anyways, if I were to rank it, I'd probably put it at a 5. After the banana is the pineapple. Now, the pineapple has an insanely delicious flavor. It's like it concentrates, it becomes like candy. And because it's so good, and I would recommend everyone tries drying this at least once, it came out at the top of our list. Next up is mango. Mango is also delicious. It has a great texture and the flavor is absolutely fantastic. We would agree that it is the runner-up to the pineapple, although some would say that it's even better. Now, strawberries were kind of in the middle ground. I wasn't a big fan, but my wife really liked them. I think they're a little tart for my liking, and the texture and the crunch was not my favorite. Therefore, we decided that it was number 8 out of 16. After that was the lemon. The lemon was absolutely foul. If you can imagine that, a lemon, which people don't normally eat, tasted terrible. It was extremely sour, and that's really all I have to say about that. It was borderline bitter. Now the blueberries, there really aren't much to them. They're tiny, they have a little bit of flavor, but honestly I think I'd just rather eat regular old blueberries. Because of that, it ended up kind of in the middle of our grouping at number 9. Now the raspberries were weird. The raspberries became very dry. Like touching them, it kind of turned into sand or like paper. When you ate them, they crunched and just kind of disintegrated in your mouth. That was completely unexpected, but they were exploding with flavor, which was very interesting. It was like a very flavorful powder. Because of that, it ends up at 12 because it was weird, but it tasted good. Now the grape, I think everyone has had a dried grape before, also known as a raisin. Some people hate raisins. Some people wonder why you put such foul things in cookies. I personally like them, and so does my wife, so we rank that at number 4. Now after that is the blackberry. Like I said before, the blackberry was weird. Those pods were empty. There wasn't really much to it. Because there wasn't much to it and it wasn't texturally satisfying, we ranked it 13 out of 16. Now the clementine. Because we were running out of time at the grocery store, I think we got a bad clementine. It was bitter. Because it was so bitter and just not very good, it has to go at number 15, runner up to the lemon for worst. The nectarine didn't have a whole lot of flavor. The texture was fine, but it was just kind of bland. Because of that, it's an 11 out of 16. Now the pear was surprisingly good. My wife absolutely loved it. I thought it was all right. It was a different texture, but it had a really unique flavor, something that I don't think a normal pear has. Definitely would try drying again, and because of that, I put it at a 6. Now the orange, again, I just have something against the citruses. They do not dry well. They're so flavorful and have so many pockets to get trapped in that it just kind of tasted nasty to me. Now, perhaps my wife would disagree, but since I'm making this video, I get the final say, and I put it at 14 out of 16. So the plum was unique. I'm not one to eat plums, so drying them was just kind of an added bonus. It was pretty bland, but I think that's kind of how plums are. The texture is fine. They kind of look like potato chips, and I thought they were kind of beautiful. Because of all this, I put it at a 10 out of 16. Now, the kiwi is supposedly really good. Maybe I didn't dry them quite long enough. The texture was a little interesting to me. I didn't really like having all those seeds in there, but the flavor was good, as kiwis are, so I put it at a 7 out of 10. Lastly are the apples. Apples are another super common dried fruit, and I think there's a reason why. The texture is awesome. They're just like candy. They have great flavor, and if you get the lemon mixture right, they have just the right amount of tartness to keep you satisfied. Because of that, they were number 3, just behind the pineapple and the mango. Well, that's it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed watching, and we'll see you next time.